Hey, everybody, welcome to the Investing in Real Estate show. This is our live show where we help you become a more intelligent real estate investor. And today we're going to be talking about how Biden's tax plan will affect real estate investors. There's a lot to digest, there's a lot of things we're going to go through today. If President Biden gets his way, it's going to be interesting to see, actually, if this gets passed, what this looks like as part of the new infrastructure bill, how much we could expect taxes to go up for wealthy people, but what about small property investors? How will that affect small property investors? So we're going to be talking about that and so much more on the show today. I hope everyone is doing great. Let me know where you're joining us from. We're going to start the show fully here in just a minute. I'd like to, as YouTube and Facebook and so forth send out their alerts, I'd like to welcome everyone in so that we can actually have a full audience. It usually takes them like 10 minutes to do that. So let me know where you're joining us from today. Stephanie Rossi is here. Good to see you, Stephanie. You guys can see and hear me okay. Just give me a thumbs up. Smash that like button if you guys can hear me okay. Just tell me where you're joining us from. Move this up here so I can see better. Okay. Roger M., good to see you from the crazy market of Providence, Rhode Island. My childhood friend Ben lives in Providence, Rhode Island. Calumet City, Illinois, Hashim Giles is here. Good to see you. Georgia on my mind, Adelia Rollins. Good to see you. Selva Reyes from sunny California. Digital Life. Havadome. The Havadome, where's that? This morning before our morning show, I was out playing with Grover in the grass for a while. He's loving this scratch pad of the grass. Atlantic County, New Jersey, from Philly, Abington, Pennsylvania. Oh, Lake Havasu. That's where it is, in City, Arizona. I'm going to be doing this, laying out in the sun. Good to see everyone. So let me know any real estate related questions you have as we kick off the show. We're going to be talking about Biden's tax plan and what it means for real estate investors. Un momento, por favor, as we welcome everyone in. Good. We've got a couple hundred people on our different platforms tuning in. Smash the old like button. So we should be able to get up to a couple hundred likes today, I would hope. And the markets are taking a dump today. Tech's down. Inflation concerns. Dow down 400 points. NASDAQ down 45 points. Everything is down. The market is selling off, baby. As inflation concerns, inflation worries, it's not good news. Not good news if you're a paper investor. But why we watch this show is because you are real estate investors or aspirational real estate investors who will hope to get there soon. That's the goal. So yes, we're going to be talking about this and how Biden's real estate tax plan may hit smaller property investors overall. Okay. Okay. And Grover is here as well. This is his like witching hour where he loves to destroy animals, stuffed animals during the show. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Talking to you, buddy. Once again. Welcome to the Real Estate Investing Show. I'm Clayton Morris, longtime real estate investor. Our goal with this channel is to help you become a more intelligent investor, a more intelligent real estate investor, and just be better with your money so you can build wealth in your family and sustain that wealth as a store of value. I believe real estate investing is one of the number one ways to preserve wealth in a family outside of the sort of corrupt government banking hegemony that we see right now, where the government continues to print money hand over fist, and businesses are continuing to borrow money that they don't even need because the interest rates are so stinking low. And so there's all of these big companies just taking all of this free money right now in order to buy back shares and enrich their own pockets. So I want to talk about Biden's tax plan today as Grover runs around and destroys an animal in the background here. Are you going to do this the whole show today? Okay. He's got a stuffed animal. So if you see a dog zipping by here, yeah, this will be good. Let's see if I can focus. Okay. So I wanted to talk about Biden's tax plan today and why, if President Biden's tax plan goes through, where we would see increases on the wealthy, what this would look like for the small property investor. It's one thing when we talk about these big commercial real estate investors that have, hundreds of millions of dollars in property and their New York high-rise apartments and so forth. But what about the investor that owns one property or two properties? How will this affect you? So we're starting to see how this is going to come together. And this is how Biden's real estate tax plan may hit some of these smaller property investors a little bit more dramatically than we had anticipated. He's calling on Congress right now for a tax hike on real estate investors to help fund the $1.8 trillion American Families Plan. It would also abolish the right to defer taxes on property gains over $500,000. The measure may also affect more people than wealthy investors, according to financial experts. So what's going on here? Well, a couple of things. The American Families Plan covers child care, paid family leave. We know it would increase the family paid, the child tax credit, which is pretty phenomenal, up to $3,600 for a child under the age of 6. And then it would, of course, go down to $3,000 for a child over 6 years old. Would be transformative, lifting families out of poverty in the United States, absolutely transformative. It would also create new education programs. It would provide preschool, as well as 2 years of additional community college for every American, free of charge. Again, these things would be transformative. I think we should have 4 years available for schooling after in the post high school. But hey, beggars can't be choosers right now. But what his plan would do, specifically his tax plan, would look at eliminating the 1031 exchange program. Now, the 1031 exchange has been said to be one of the greatest wealth building tools that the tax code has ever created, that the IRS has ever created, the 1031 exchange. Now, for some context on the 1031 exchange, let me put this in perspective for you. What you can do is have multiple properties. You can have multiple homes that you then sell, like or kind transfer of those homes, and you will not pay any taxes, any capital gains taxes on the sale of that property. The strategy on the chopping block, the so-called 1031 exchange, allows investors to defer paying taxes on real estate by rolling profits into their next property. So you'd be able to move the profits out of those current properties. Maybe they're not performing great for you, or you bought them in California. So like at Morris Investing, we work with a lot of 1031 exchange clients. We have a 1031 exchange program, which enables some of our clients that have multiple properties that maybe aren't performing for them anymore. They're just going to keep destroying this the whole show. This is like what Biden's going to be doing right now to the 1031 exchange. He's just he's going to destroy the 1031 exchange by ripping it apart. Wealthy investors are not going to be happy about this because about last year in 2020, about 20%, close to 20% of all real estate transactions took place inside of a 1031 exchange. Did you know that? So a lot of institutional investors use this vehicle every year, year after year after year. They might, buy a home to renovate. They're going to flip this particular property. They're going to do it within a 1031 exchange after that year time limit is up to preserve their profits so that they can roll it into an additional property and like in kind, and that's how they don't have to pay they don't have to pay taxes on it. Some argue that this strategy allows big builders to do a lot of construction and to help the economy by building a lot. But others say, including President Biden and others, say that this is, of course, a tool that needs to be taxed. This is just a tax shelter, basically, for the wealthy, and that we need to take care of the working class person. Michael Repick, who's the vice president and senior estate planner at Janney Montgomery Scott in Philadelphia, says you don't have to take a haircut for Uncle Sam's share every time you move from one investment to another. Saying current investors can use the 1031 exchange to buy and sell deferred real estate throughout their life. If the investor holds the property until death, then they can pass it on to their heirs tax-free. Matt Berquist, a Jacksonville, Florida-based certified financial planner, says this has been a great way for family real estate investors to make money. Absolutely. I think about the preservation of wealth. We've talked about it on this show many, many times with Tom Wheelwright and other tax experts, that this is the greatest vehicle for creating wealth is a 1031 exchange. To move and sell and make profits and then move into a better performing property and to keep leveling up, basically. That's what commercial real estate investors do. That's what a lot of residential real estate investors do. So, when you hear it like, oh, it's only going to attack capital gains higher than $500,000. Well, think about it. $500,000 sounds like a lot of money. And that's just a way to tax the rich. But it actually turns out that most 1031 exchanges are not conducted by big real estate tycoons. In fact, in 2020, a survey shows that the National Association of Realtors found that 84% of 1031 exchange transactions were actually completed by smaller investors or an S Corp or a sole proprietorship. We were in the process of doing a 1031 exchange, and the numbers just didn't make sense, but we were going to do it on a couple of our properties to move into a better property situation on a couple of our investments. The numbers didn't shake out. We didn't end up having to do it because we wouldn't have actually saved enough on taxes to worry about it. But many, many times, we're working at Morris Invest at our company, we're working with clients who, when they come and they book a call with us, they are choosing, when they book a call, they're saying, hey, I want to go take advantage of your 1031 exchange program. So they'll come over to our website at Morris Invest. They want to buy one of our new construction, duplexes or single family homes, and they want to get out of a bad or lower performing property, and they want to move into a fully taken care of, fully done for you investment that has a tenant already cash flowing in place and possibly even has a cost segregation analysis tied to it if you fit into that program. But our 1031 exchange program allows people to buy multiple properties at one time and move those assets over. And it's not these large institutional investors. It's, husband and wife, they've got kids in college and they've bought a few assets that just haven't been performing for them over the years, and they want to move into higher performing assets. These are not large institutional investors. So I guess my sort of cautionary tale is that big changes could be coming to the tax code in 2021. I don't think there's a chance at all that there's not going to be a big change to the tax code. Why do I say that? You say, well, they need Congress to make all of these big changes. No, they don't. So you think, well, Republicans are going to stand in the way of this. They don't want to raise corporate taxes. They don't want to do any of this. They want to line the pockets of their big fat cat friends on Wall Street, right? Republicans are never going to want to raise taxes. They're never going to want to do any of this. It doesn't matter, because they're going to use a process known as reconciliation, which allows them basically 3 reconciliation opportunities per year where Democrats can go around Republicans and pass a budget reconciliation that eliminates the Trump tax cuts from 2017, which overwhelmingly helped the wealthy, and also rolls back a lot of those Trump-era tax code laws, and even beyond that. And then, of course, steps in and removes the 1031 exchange. So they don't need Republicans to stand in their way on this. They're going to do this. I would just say, this is going to have massive impacts for smaller investors out there who are thinking about using a 1031 exchange. So if you are one of those people that is considering using a 1031 exchange, I would say do it now. I'm not a financial advisor and I'm not a lawyer, but if you know that this is coming and this is something you're planning on doing, definitely consult with your team and think about moving those properties out of lower performing assets into higher performing assets using the 1031 exchange so you can save on those corporate taxes or those capital gains taxes because this is about to change. And who knows if it ever get rolled back, by a future president. But right now, this is what's happening. And this is what's happening with Democratic control of the Senate, Democratic control of the House of Representatives and the presidency, and not having to worry about working with Republicans. Using the budget reconciliation process goes around all of that to make these big changes to the tax code. Now, I know the president has said he wants to work with Republicans and have a bipartisan approach to this and not have to use the reconciliation process, but it's not going to happen, okay? When it comes to taxes, Republicans are not going to budge on this. They already got the Trump tax plan through. So our 1031 exchange team can help you. If you're interested in that, just go to morrisinvest.com. Here's our website. Just go and click on the Book a Free Call tab right there. And you can pick a 30-second time slot for us to give you a call. If you're interested in the 1031 exchange program, we have those programs available, and you can read all about it right on our website at morrisinvest.com. All right, I want to open it up for some Q&A today on this topic or anything else as it relates to real estate. So let's open it up over here. Let me see what these comments are. Hashim Giles says Biden is trying to destroy the middle class. Perhaps I would argue that the middle class is gone. There really is no middle class. There are the haves and have-nots. I mean, the 1% in this country controls almost all of the wealth. You literally have right now, Amazon going through a process of eliminating $2 in extra wages that they were giving out. This is what Amazon is dropping its $2 pay raise for warehouse staff after May because you know what? They just don't need it. There is no middle class. What does it mean to be middle class? And then you have this on the other side. Bezos is now commissioning a $500 million mega yacht that comes with its own support yacht. How many of you have a yacht with a support yacht? I don't know what that means. What is a support yacht? This is America right now. It's low-wage workers, and then it's the high end. Finding people to take jobs as they reappear, however daunting, particularly at the lower end of the pay scale. So this is what we're seeing. Julian, what other cities in Texas do you like to invest in besides Lubbock, Odessa, Midland? Let's see what other questions here I missed while I was talking. Frank Garagana, am I saying that right? It says so ridiculous. Good morning, Clayton. California is listening. Jamaica. Will this apply to residences or just investment property? Adelia Rollins wants to know. You cannot 1031 exchange your own property. It's only for rental investments or investment property. You can't do it with your own properties you live in. So Mark's asking about opportunity zones. This was it's a basically. Let me put this up on the screen here. Give you deeper understanding of what this is. Basically, it allowed private capital, private companies to invest in low-income communities across America. But it was established by Congress in the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act back under Trump in 2017 to encourage long-term investments in low-income urban and rural communities nationwide. Opportunity zones provided a tax incentive for investors to reinvest their unrealized capital gains into dedicated opportunity funds. And basically, it avoided you paying taxes. You could build basically an apartment complex or condos and not have to pay capital gains taxes. It's big. There's opportunity zones all over the United States. These are a lot of the opportunity zones right here on the screen. So you can see, let me zoom in here. They're all over the country, these different opportunity zones. And it allowed for these communities to be built up. But the problem with opportunity zones, I've done a lot of interviews on this question. We have it on here on the channel if you want to read about that on here on the channel. Or watch a video here on the channel. I don't know if Kelly, you could drop it here into the chat. I think we did a pretty deep dive on opportunity zones in an interview. One of the big downsides is that, it was all about raising up these communities, building affordable housing. The idea is like, we're going to build in these areas and build affordable housing. Well, turns out that a great percentage of these opportunities ends up being higher end condos. So these developers kind of came in and they're transforming neighborhoods in a way, but they're pushing out the very people that we're hoping to help in these opportunity zones and making these higher end loft condos and things like that. So I'm not an expert on opportunity zones. I don't personally have any investments in opportunity zones at the moment. And Nicole, I don't know, are we, with some of our new projects, are we in any of the opportunity zone spots in Lubbock? Or Midland? This would be a good question. I'd love to know on our latest land surveys in the census tract, because there's a bunch of here that I don't know, according to our maps, if they fit into that jigsaw puzzle. So, like in Crosby County or in Lubbock County specifically, I'm not sure if it fits on that side of in the census tract 102, but we can be curious on that. Good question. Yeah, there's the link. Kelly just popped it in there on Facebook as well, how to invest in opportunity zones. Don Elliott says, I just visited Lubbock. It's a nice city. Everything is new and growing. Yep, it is. It's growing very nicely. Good news is we got there a number of years before it started booming, because that's what our data was showing us. And so when we started, analyzing, that's when people say, well, are you guys investing in this market? Are you in that market? Very often, no is the answer. And we're always analyzing different markets for a number of different pieces of data to make sure that we get that taken care of. Let's see, Bill Perdue says, good afternoon, Clayton. As you guys well know, the 1031 was how I got my first rental with Morris Invest. It's very powerful. That's awesome, Bill. What do you think, Bill, that you saved by way of capital gains by using the 1031 exchange? Be curious your thoughts, Bill. Don Elliott says, I played golf in Lubbock and chatted with the locals, and they are in good jobs there. Yeah, so Nicole's going to check on our operations team with that and see if any of the new developments fit into the opportunity zones. So Don bought 2 homes there. That's great. So Bill says he probably saved around $30,000 in capital gains taxes with the 1031 exchange. Wow. Yeah, not surprised. Not surprised at all. No, Hashim, you're right. I mean, no one's happy about the middle class being gone, but it's been crushed for years. I mean, it started 20 years ago. It's been just been going down and down and down. And wage disparity, you've got the haves and the have-nots. I mean, that's just what's happening. Devin McCrae, that's awesome, Devin. Way to go, man. Let's see. Michael Olson, hey Clayton, I'm working on securing funding for a down payment, which will be a combination of fund and grow credit and 401k loans. What is the lag time with the waiting list on a property with you? Well, we're planning for this year to finish up about 400 homes this year. That's our build schedule for the year. And so we do them in different sections. So the ones that if you book a call with us now, I don't know if have you spoken to our team, Michael, and start walking through that process. They'll work with you to see, when a property and when your funding becomes available, and we can try to work with you on that timeline. So it really comes down to your availability. Then we can get you into the system to get a purchase agreement, look at properties, learn what your goals are, and go through there. Julian, so I hope that answers that. Julian says, I have a fourplex. I just paid retail for it in March. How soon do I have to wait to refinance it to use the money to buy another? A good 65 down payment. I want it back. Julian, I would say right now, I mean, you don't have to wait. It depends on what lender, but most lenders for a refinance don't care about your seasoning period. And I would go jump on these incredibly low rates right now. So, and I would even think in this amount of time with this market, that thing may have already, you might get a different appraisal. That thing might have already appreciated. Like the properties we are building right now, like we're selling them. So like Bill bought one, et cetera. Like I for a lot of them, the appraisals are going to come in higher than what we're even selling them for. So right now, things are just crazy. Even in kind of like boring markets, like where we invest, like in Lubbock and places like that, you're just seeing just nice appreciation all over the place. Charisse wants to know, what do I think of the Charlotte, North Carolina, Atlanta, Georgia corridor in general? I like it. I own a bunch of properties in North Carolina. We're currently not doing any projects there, but there are some. The reason is because it's a little difficult. There's some state laws that make things a little slower from an investment perspective. So that's one of the reasons in North Carolina. The Atlanta corridor is really great. Just continues to grow, even though it's just getting blown up and it's just expanding out. We don't personally do anything in Atlanta. But yes, I like that area. Thank you, Michael. He's going to plan to give us a call soon. That's great. Don Elliott wants to know. Sorry, let me pull this up here. I got the wrong screen. Okay. Can I use the Bank of Down with the HELOC and stop giving interest to them versus paying the interest to the HELOC? Can I use the Bank of Down the HELOC and stop giving interest to them versus paying the interest to the HELOC? I'm not sure I understand the question. Sorry. Oh, thank you. You read my book. That's awesome. It's pretty easy. Mike Kerwin says, how easy it is to tap into equity. Oh, the Bank of Don. I see what you're saying, Don. The Bank of Don. Can I use the Bank of Don with the HELOC strategy and stop giving interest to them versus paying the interest to the HELOC? Yeah, if you had set up your own bank, right? Like if you can do that banking, where you become your own bank, right? That's that's certainly the Rockefeller way of doing it, where you become your own bank, create your own insurance company, and structure it that way. That's next level stuff. When you basically have multiple companies, you create your own insurance company and lend to yourself eventually. That's next level. But Julian says it was 2 months ago. Yeah, but even still. 2 months ago, I mean, we're seeing stuff appreciating very quickly. And, you might just get a totally different appraisal. I mean, reach out to a different bank. They're not going to use the same appraisal that you had before. Doesn't really matter. If there's demand, there is incredible demand for property right now. So Bill says, oh yeah, you bought a duplex from us in Lubbock and you bought it for $325 and now it's $349. That's great. Well, yeah, and you could look at also, pulling some of that equity out eventually as well. Julian, well, book a call with us. Like, you don't have to make offers. You could book a call with us. We have properties. Like, that's what we do. If you'd like to work with us, we're happy to do it. So you don't have to you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. You're asking over asking price in Lubbock. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, Mineta. Okay, my husband and I spoke with someone from your team, but they told us to fix our credit. Yeah, and have at least 40. Yeah, our minimum down payment on one of our properties is going to be around the 45,000 range, minimum down payment. Obviously working through that credit process to fix your credit is going to be powerful. One thing that you may want to consider doing is use a company called I think we have a deal with them, a partnership with them. If you go to ScoreMaster, you have to use this link though. Go to scoremaster.com/invest. Pull this up here on the screen. So you see, you got to use the /invest though. So /invest. Scoremaster.com/invest. The best way to improve your credit score. Really, really powerful. I had a meeting with them last week. You'll increase your credit score average of 61 points using ScoreMaster. You can enroll in 1 minute, get your points, get better deals. Pretty crazy. So check them out. Go to scoremaster.com/invest. Thank you for typing in the chat, everyone, and increase your credit score. And you can learn how it works. Go through their website. But if you're having trouble with your credit, pretty powerful stuff. So I had a whole meeting with their team this week because I said we got a lot of people who want to improve their credit, and they're just not sure how to do it, where to go, what's a reputable company. So we are working with them. I haven't even announced it on our show yet that we're going to not talk about them. But hey, figured I could help you there, Mineta. See if I can find, hopefully I got the right link. Should be. Just making sure of things before I give you the... Here it is. It should be correct. Yeah, that's the right link. So, and I don't even know if you, like, most people... Julian, it really depends on the market. Now we have moved to higher end homes, so it depends on the market. But in Texas, we've got everything in there, so they don't have to bring that stuff anymore, Julian. The average American has 91 points that they can add to their credit score, and which is crazy. 91 points they can add to their credit score that they don't even know that they can do, and they don't know how to get them. You can super boost your credit score super fast by a few points. And ScoreMaster users raise their score 61 points in 20 days, which is pretty crazy. So yeah, scoremaster.com/invest. Roger M. I hear LLCs can't refinance conventional. Are there lenders who allow LLCs to refinance? Yeah, there are. Nicole, do you want to tackle that? Is there, yeah, you have to quit claim it. That's right. To your name and then back to your LLC. So we've done that a bunch of times. I know it's a pain. Costs you like a few $100 with a lawyer to quit claim it back and forth. But hey, if you can refinance and get all that money back and save a boatload of money on a refinance, doing the quit claim with a lawyer and doing it pretty quickly is not a big deal. We've done that. We used Flagstar Bank, Natalie and I did, on a couple of our properties where we had it in our name. I'm sorry, we had it in the LLC. We quit claimed it back to our name, did the refinance, and then quit claimed it back to our LLC. Manetta, you're welcome. Don Elliott says, I bought a few thousand shares of VKMTF. I am up 25% within 2 weeks of you telling me. That's awesome. Is VKMTF, is that Nevada King, Don? Just curious. VKMTF. Yeah, that's Nevada King. Yeah, they hit all-time highs, up 28%. I don't know if you caught my video that I did yesterday on a separate producer that's like this dream team of producers. Check that out on my other channel. But that one's going to explode too. They're sitting on the precipice as they about to, sweet. Any other questions here? Awesome, everyone. Well, thank you guys for joining us today on the live stream. I really appreciate it. Thanks for your great questions. Hopefully I brought you some value. If I did, please go ahead and smash that like button. You guys brought me a lot of value. You always make me think and bring great questions. So thank you for this great community here. We're back every Tuesday at noon Eastern time here on the old program where we get to talk about real estate investing and talk about the news of the week. So yes, if you are getting ready to do a 1031 exchange, try to do it before these tax laws change, before the end of 2021. And who knows when this will go into place, but it probably would be something that would go into place after 2021. So you probably have the rest of the year to get these, to do a 1031 exchange. Again, if you're interested, you can book a call with our team at Morris Invest, and we will help you take care of that. Much love to all of you. We will see you next time here on the channel. Be safe, everyone.